China's top diplomat is calling for Beijing and Washington to restore their relationship. At the same time, Yang Jiechi has cautioned the US to stop meddling in China's internal affairs. Olivia Xiong with more.
It was a highly anticipated speech to the National Committee on U.S.-China Relations as the new Biden administration continues to formulate its China policy. China's top diplomat Yang Jiechi making it clear that ties between Beijing and Washington now stand at a key moment, and the task is for both countries to restore the relationship to a predictable and constructive track of development. This follows a tumultuous 4 years under the Trump administration, which saw bilateral ties deteriorate to its lowest point since diplomatic relations were established in 1979. Both sides have clashed over a host of issues, ranging from trade and technology to human rights issues. In his half-an-hour-long speech, Mr. Yang hit out at the former Trump administration's policies, which he said were misguided and a strategic misjudgment. He also called on the U.S. to rise above an outdated zero-sum mentality. Moving forward, Mr. Yang said that differences between both countries have to be managed properly, and China has no intention to challenge or replace the U.S. position in the world. Likewise, China expects the U.S. to abide by the One China principle when it comes to Taiwan and stop its interference in Hong Kong, Tibet, and Xinjiang, adding that this is a red line that must not be crossed, and any trespassing would end up undermining China-U.S. relations and the U.S. own interest. Hopes of a reset in relations, though, have already been tested in the early days of the Biden administration. Both sides have clashed over Beijing's recent military drills near Taiwan, and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has criticized Beijing over its actions in Hong Kong, as well as its lack of transparency with regard to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Yang said China is willing to work with the U.S. to move their relationship forward on the track of no conflict, no confrontation, and mutual respect. In his speech, he outlined areas where both sides can collaborate, including in the COVID-19 response, economic recovery, and climate change. Though on the trade front, Mr. Yang said this should not be politicized, and the concept of national security should not be abused. Olivia Xiong, CNA, Beijing.